Joy Guru, I am Amalandu Chatterjee. I am an ex-associate professor in zoology and a SPR. I do discuss religious or spiritual or related topics as far as my little knowledge goes. I have no intention whatsoever to hurt anybody's sentiment. Do subscribe to this channel of mine, namely Onukul Kotha, if you like the content. Now, in the last episode, I narrated a story, namely Kashi Kobiraj's Golpo, that is the story of Kashi Kobiraj. The story is written by Bibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay. He is a very strong writer, famous writer in Bengali literature. And I personally feel that he has some realizations. Otherwise, he could not have written, such sensitive, such heart-touching novels, stories. This is simply not possible. Now, as I have stated, that this story has posed certain pertinent questions, certain pertinent points, and I would like to address these points. See, some of the questions are like this: does a dead mother feel for her son? And if so, then what can be the magnitude of such feeling? And secondly, can a soul sense something, feel something after death and before taking the next birth? And thirdly, whether it is possible to do any good for the departed soul. And fourth is, what are the probable fates of a dead person? These are some of the relevant questions that I would like to address. And of course, I would like to discuss these points in the light of the life philosophy of Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra. You see, Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra has stated that a train engine runs by steam, and whenever an engine gets damaged by whatever reasons, steam would get out from the engine. And we can compare the engine as body, that is gross body, and we can compare steam as soul. Steam is the energy. And Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra has defined soul as energetic run. That is, it is always running. It never confines to a particular body eternally. Yes, it enters within a body. It remains within that body for a while. It differs from person to person. And then it leaves from that body when the body gets damaged. And then it remains within the year. See, this is more or less the case. And while it remains within the year, it depends, or you can say the duration of this period, it depends upon whether the soul would get its suitable parents or not. Actually, Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra stated that as soul can feel something, that means that soul has its mind embedded within it. As mind has all the attributes, so naturally soul can feel something. In other words, every soul has its own special tuning. When the soul gets parents having same tuning, only then a soul can take birth. Now, I would like to state some of the incidents, some of the examples in order to substantiate all these points. One day, to be specific, on 13th November 1945, when Panchananda, his full name was Panchanan Sarkar, he was a professor, and he was definitely an ardent disciple of Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra. He asked to Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra that whether a soul can feel, can sense when it remains within the year, that is, after death and before taking the next birth. During this interval period, whether a soul can feel something, whether a soul can feel or sense something. Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra stated, yes, it can. Then Kestuda, he was another ardent disciple of Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra. His full name was Krishna Prasanna Bhattacharya. He was a renowned scientist. He commented that how is it, Thakur? When, in order to sense, in order to feel, one needs brain and sense organs. When a soul remains within the ear, it has nothing of these sorts. So how can it feel? Sri Thakur Anukula Chandra has replied that fine ectoplasmic being is always there and everything is embedded within it. So therefore, it is see, from the answer of Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra, you can say that yes, soul can feel everything, because in order to feel whatever organs are needed, these are embedded finely, very sophisticatedly within the soul while it remains within the ear. Now, you see, does a dead mother feel for her son? I would like to cite an example, real example. You see, one Prafulluda, he was also an ardent disciple of Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra, who, see, the full name of Prafulluda is Prafullu Kumar Das. He was the scribe of Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra. Whatever Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra spoke, Prafulluda actually jotted down those lines. And because of Prafulluda, we have come to know, see, very many speeches, very many sayings of Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra. Now, the mother of Prafulluda, whose name was Manoda Devi, did commit suicide. And as we all know, suicide is a sinful act, is an inauspicious act. And it is said that, you see, these souls, that is, those persons who commit suicide, those souls face difficulty in getting emancipation. Emancipation means mukti. You see, mukti, emancipation means mukti. It is said like this, because you cannot kill your own life, because you must remember that your life is not actually yours. It is God gifted. So you have no right to kill your life. You have no right to annihilate your life. Anyway, I see Prafulluda got perplexed, got completely bewildered by this heartbreaking incident. One day, Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra called Prafulluda to come close to him. And then Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra very affectionately said to Prafullu that, see, one who is destined to go, she has gone, but I am with you. Why are you afraid of? Why are you worrying? Prafulluda replied, Thakur, I can endure all the pains and agonies, but you see that my mother will not get emancipation, my mother will not get mukti. This very feeling is haunting me always. Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra was seated on a chair at that point of time. He stretched up to himself and said, what are you telling? I have heard that one who has accepted Sadguru, that is real mentor, then you see 3 crores of pedigrees, 3 crores of generations would get emancipation. You see, then won't your mother get emancipation? Prafulluda actually was completely assured by the utterance of such words of Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra. But after a while, Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra stated, but then the emancipation of your mother is largely dependent upon you. You see, wherever she is, her eyes would be upon you, because she has tremendous affection towards you. So you need to be completely absorbed with your ishto or with your beloved. You see, and while thinking about you, she would be indirectly attracted towards the ishto, and this would be the cause for her emancipation. This was the statement of Sri Thakur Uncle Chandra. And Prafulluda has written like this, that since then, you see, I was trying to absorb myself with ishto, and whenever I forgot him, even for a while, I have felt myself a sinner, an offender, because this blunder, this error would jeopardize, would foil the emancipation of my mother. So this is more or less the incident. Now, from this incident, I think we can infer something. That is, number one, that dead mother can feel for her son. There is a soul, while it remains within the ear, it can feel, for her, it can feel everything. As the story, as it is written by Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay, this very mother actually felt for her son. It was evident. Though she was died almost 4 years before this incident. But it is evident that she was in the ear. That means she didn't get the next birth. So while she was in the ear, she felt everything for her son. Actually, she got pained to see the ailing son, and his son was crying for her, and she felt everything, and that's why she came to bring him back to her. It is actually written by Vibhuti Bhushan Bandyopadhyay. What I want to say, that this story has something very pertinent. has something very real. It's not actually a ghost story. It's not a cook and bull story. It is by no means a cook and bull story. It has something very much inherent within it. It has some truth behind it. This is my, you can say, this is my comment. Now, the second is that it is possible to do some good for departed soul. As Prafullada, you see, always, as Prafullada was always, you see, Prafullada was busy absorbing himself with Ishtu, and he was always repeating the holy name. That's why his mother, while thinking about him, she got attracted towards the Ishtu. And this was the, you can say, this was the cause for her emancipation. So, we can do some good for the departed soul. That's the reason why it is our tradition that in our satsang adivation during Sriti Tarpan, we do like this. That is, we, you see, all of us, do prayers. That means all of us actually repeat the holy name as Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra has given to us. And we think that this sound vibration, after all, a holy name is nothing but a sound vibration. And definitely the most auspicious sound vibration. And it has tremendous effect, that's for sure. And this sound vibration would hit that soul which remains in the ear. And that soul would indirectly be attracted with that Ishto, or you can say with the holy name. And in the process, the soul would get good birth say in the next generation. That's for sure. This is, however, more or less the idea behind the Sriti Tarpan Satsang Adivation. Now, I would like to, as I have stated, that what can be the magnitude of such feelings, that is, of such affection. I would like to state one incident in this respect. You see, one Haripada Saha was there with Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra. He was definitely an ardent disciple of Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra, and whom we call Haripada Saha as Haripada Da. He was a qualified MB homeopathic physician. But Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra instructed him to make some Ayurvedic medicines, and Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra gave the formula for those Ayurvedic medicines. And Haripada Da, as per the instruction of Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra, made so many Ayurvedic medicines. And these medicines are still very effective to combat very many complex diseases, that's for sure. And you see, Haripada Da took care, you see, for the well-being of Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra. It was found that Haripada Da very carefully, he used to comb his hairs, that is Thakur's hair, very carefully. And at times he was found to wield a cloth for cleaning to protect Thakur from flies and mosquitoes. Now one day, while Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra was encircled by his disciples, then Sri Thakur Ankul, and of course I would like to say something about Haripada Da. Haripada, it is known afterwards, and we have come to know from reliable sources that Haripada Saha was a son of an aristocratic Jamindar of Baradi. It is now situated in present Bangladesh. Now, you see, one day, as I have stated, the Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra, while he was encircled by disciples and also admirers, on that particular day, Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra called Haripada Da to come close to him. And then, pointing his finger towards a small girl named, Gunja, Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra stated to Haripada Da that she is your mother of your past life. And she had tremendous affection towards you. She could not bear the separation from you. That's why she has taken birth here, so that she can remain in close proximity with you. Actually, Haripada Da got stunned. But, and I must say, the Gunja is one of the daughters of Srisho Rai Chaudhuri. He was also a disciple of Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra, and they remained in the ashram of Sri Thakur Ankul Chandra, both in Pabna and as well as in Deoghar later on. And then you see, her mother's name is Toruma. At least we call her as or you can say she is popularly known as Toruma. So therefore, Gunja is the daughter of Srisho Rai Chaudhuri and Toruma. And then Haripada Da, since then, you see, loved this, you can say treated this girl as his own mother. And he used to purchase very many items ranging from, books, exercise books, golden earring, silver anklet, cosmetics, toys, etc. for her. And it was his daily habit to meet with her at afternoon after completing his works. And he asked regularly to her whether she can recall something. She can recall something of her past life. She could not answer. Gunja could not answer. Possibly she could not possibly properly. She could not recollect the events of her past life. However, one incident happened. One day, while she was busy playing with a toy sword, and it is needless to say that the toy sword was given none other than Haripadoda, and the girl was busy playing with the toy sword, and she was cutting everybody's head standing there. When Haripadoda asked her to cut him, tears rolled down, from her eyes. She could not cut, Haripadoda. God knows why. If we say that particular tremendous amount of affection actually debarred her from cutting him. So I would like to say that what can be the magnitude of attraction? What can be the magnitude of affection? You see, the affection was such tremendous that she has taken birth so that she can remain in close proximity with her son. So therefore, these are some of the incidents, you can say. So in conclusion, we may infer something. Of course, it is my personal statement. You see, that is, yes, a dead mother can feel for her son as long as she is within the year. That means when she has not taken birth, she has not taken the next birth. So while remaining within the year, that is, while she is year-born, I should say, within the year, she can feel everything for her son. And as in the case, as the story, the story has stated that this mother who died almost 4 years ago, but still she had all the affections towards her son. She was completely perplexed for her ailing son, and that's why she came from her abode to rescue her son. This is all possible. This is not impossible. So therefore, it is possible. And that means, as Sri Thakur Ankulchandra stated, that a soul can feel everything. That is, soul has its mind embedded within it. So everything is possible. Secondly, you see, a soul after death and before taking birth, it can feel everything. And thirdly, that we can do some good for the departed soul. As for example, in this case, Prafulloda did holy name for her emancipation, and at least we think that she got emancipation because of the constant repetition of holy name by Prafulloda. And secondly, we can see the magnitude of attraction, magnitude of such feelings. The magnitude of such feeling is simply this: that you see, it happens like this. That some women have tremendous affection towards their sons or towards their issues, and they even take birth so that they can remain within the close proximity with their issues. This is also possible. So I think I have addressed the pertinent questions or pertinent points. If still something is left, then I cannot recall it at this moment. So live in love. Joy Guru.